Hey, my name is Zeus Tipado, a writer for Healing Maps, and do psychedelics help with creativity? Artists across the world take psychedelics and go on to create ridiculously dope art. The Beatles, Hendrix, Steve Jobs, Betty Davis, Parliament Funkadelics, Alex Gray, Basquiat. We all suspect that psychedelics plays a role in this idea creation, but do we really know? Creativity is a wildly abstract thing to comprehend, especially in science. Add psychedelics to it and it gets even crazier. For decades, people thought that creativity was due to a single specific mental state. Some call it the zone, a term you've undoubtedly heard in music and sports. Now, there is a working theory of creativity that's pretty intriguing. In 2016, the dynamic framework of thought model was created. It proposes creativity is not a single mental state, but the result of continuously switching between two brain networks. Not just a few times, we're talking hundreds of thousands of times, maybe even hundreds of thousands of times. The theory is that all artistic creativity is actually a two-step process. First step, idea creation, and second step, idea execution. And not even in that order. It's theorized that idea creation is actually seen within an area of your brain called the default mode network, or DMN. In short, it's a brain network that's active while we're generally considered inactive. You know, thinking about your own thoughts, daydreaming, casually planning your future. That's all DMN, which is also the proposed neurological seat of idea creation. Idea execution is reflected in the Central Executive Network, or CEN. Also known as the frontal parietal network, or FPN. But for this video, we're calling it the CEN because decisions have to be made, people. The CEN is a brain network that's task positive, which means you use it when you're doing something, like painting a stroke on a canvas, or looking in your purse for your keys, or sharing this video with all your friends so that it'll go viral. All that CEN, the proposed neurological home of idea execution. When the DM is activated, the CEN quiets down, and when the CEN is activated, the DMN takes a backseat in the brain. It's called an antagonist relationship, like two roommates that don't really hang out with each other but are forced to live in the same place. However, when psychedelics get introduced, the CEN and the DMN, they sort of spill into each other and form a relationship, just like two feuding roommates suddenly coming together because there's an entire pizza on the coffee table. When a person is tripping on psychedelics, this on-off switching between the CEN and the DMN that normally facilitates creativity starts to get a bit fuzzy, if not interconnected. Instead of switching between networks, they sort of dim on and off, like a mood light in a hotel room. Researcher Manesh Gurn believes the collapse of structural integrity between these two networks is responsible for the unique creativity psychedelics seem to facilitate. In 2020, the dynamic framework of thought model began to include psychedelic-induced creativity because the link between the two was just that compelling. Psychedelics as a creative enhancer is a bold but not unfamiliar concept. Also, the work isn't over. Gurn is still on the grind discovering specific neurological mechanisms for psychedelic-induced creativity. This is all new territory for neuroscience, but it's happening. Now, can we get a crazy outro for this video?